trigger warning. This video contains an opinion, and also spoilers to the wonderfully weird world of Gumball. If you don't want to hear any of those things, I suggest you skip this video. Thank you for the click. Let's get back to the video. Woo! Boo. Why do you look so pale? It's as if you've seen a ghost. Yeah. Hello. Unfortunately, I am not dead. Though, thinking about what I've been doing for the past, year and a half, I guess you wouldn't be too far off if you had thought that. Anyway, I know, things look a little different, things seem a bit off, maybe even things sound a little better, but I can assure you, I promise, I'm the same stupid bitch I was. And if you're still here after all this time, it's fucking destiny. No, but all jokes aside, I am genuinely so sorry that I was gone for so long, and I am so thankful that some of you are still here, because why? But also, we are besties. Sorry, you don't have a choice in that matter. Anyway, so you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, you know exactly why you're here. But before we get into anything, I would encourage you to grab a drink to calm your nerves, because let's be honest, I may or may not say things that might piss you off, and you know what? That's okay. That's our relationship. I'm comfortable with that. So, now that you have whatever drink of your choice, tea, soda, coffee, vodka, who cares? Let's get into it. Now, just a little context, a little lore drop, if you will. I have a very unhealthy relationship with the amazing world of Gumball. That is to say, I love it. I love it so much. It is, in every sense of the word, my comfort show. When I'm sad, I watch Gumball. When I'm tired, I watch Gumball. When I'm excited for something, I watch Gumball. That is to say that I have seen all of the episodes multiple times over. It's crazy how much I love Gumball. And yes, I know it's weird. I know it is. But, I mean, when you have nothing else, you have Gumball, right? I was so excited for the new series. When I saw that it was out on streaming, I literally did a dance. I jumped up and down. People were asking me what's going on, and I was like, a new series of my favorite show just came out. I'm so excited. You don't understand. But not dwelling on that too much, it is safe to say that I injected directly into my bloodstreams at all times. To say that I am devastated, horrified at the complete and utter assassination of my favorite show is an understatement. Now I know. I hear you. It's a lot, and I probably need some psychiatric evaluation or something, but it's okay. We're gonna get through this together. Anyway, before I actually get into any of my gripes, the wonderfully weird world of Gumball, Jesus, they made it really hard to say, and you know what? That's going at the top of the con list. Like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, the wonderfully weird world of Gumball is visually very fun to watch. The animation is really bubbly, bouncy, lively, and colorful. It's really fun. And the effects, chef's kiss. And obviously there were some points where I was laughing, and I laughed out loud, but that's about where I have to stop with the praise, because I think everything else completely fell flat. I am so disappointed. I literally had to take breaks in between episodes. Like, you don't understand. I was devastated. One of the best parts of The Amazing World of Gumball, in my opinion, was definitely the dynamics and the relationships between the Watersons. Personally, I was able to relate an ungodly amount to Gumball and Darwin because I have a sibling that I'm incredibly close with. And hell, I even see my own other family members in the other Watersons. So, to see in this new show that the relationships and the dynamic were either extremely exaggerated or extremely flat was really disappointing. Now I know what you may be thinking. Sounds like a personnel problem, and I hear you. But that's what made Gumball so special to me. And while I understand not everybody can relate to what Gumball was, I could. And in my opinion, they ruined it. They destroyed what was so relatable about Gumball and Darwin's relationship. I'm gonna give an example of what I mean by this. In the episode The Distance, Gumball and Darwin seem to be too close. They seem to be fusing with each other, and Nicole decides that they need some space apart. So she sends Darwin to the basement to become their own individuals or whatever. And while in theory that is a fun concept, the way they go about to portray their relationship is completely unhinged and, in my opinion, romanticizing their brotherly relationship. Like, come on, Lee, they already had that type of relationship in the original series. You're being really dramatic and weird about it. No. In the original series, Gumball and Darwin were very close, but they also had boundaries. They also had moments where they stopped and said, that was weird, or that's gross, or don't ever do that again. There were limits to how weird their relationship got. But this episode completely destroys that. They've put Gumball and Darwin into situations where we can draw parallels to non-platonic relationships, and that's an issue. And of course, the letter doesn't help at all, because, spoiler alert, they actually end up kissing each other. Yeah, let that sink in. I know, disgusting. I know, it was Carrie who was kissing Darwin, not Gumball. I don't give a fuck. There is a real problem with people shipping siblings in multiple different fandoms, and I'm sorry if you think that it's okay, get the fuck out, because it's not. I, as a real-ass human being, has had another real-ass human being come up to me and say, oh, I ship you and your twin. It's disgusting! And the fact that they are feeding into it, whether it's intentionally or not, it is exactly what they are doing. It's not that deep, bro. It's not that serious. Like, come on, you're making it weird. No, they made it weird. They did something that I think is disgusting. And clearly, some of us have a corn problem and some of us don't. So, do with that what you will. Okay? Okay, moving on, because if I keep talking about it, this video is going to be an hour long, and no one is here for that. So, moving on. I think in comparison to my first biggest and most important issue with this series, are definitely, subjective, and I personally think that Nicole and Richard are the best characters, that they had the most essence of the original show. They were my favorite part, I'm not gonna lie, but when it comes to, Anais, they did her so dirty, guys, I swear. She went from this very sophisticated, witty, sarcastic, snappy little girl who literally does everything for the entire family to not exactly that, but not exactly not that. Yeah, it's a little confusing. There really isn't an issue with how they have Anais, and also, I just hate how they portrayed Penny. Like, she tortures Gumball for an entire episode with her family, which was certainly a choice, for sure. I mean, I personally don't think that Penny would do that, but I guess I'm curious to know what you guys think about everyone and all the characters and stuff. Okay, so before I wrap up the video, I do want to talk about something that is definitely the most non-issue and also most subjective thing about the series is I really did not like the humor in the new series. I thought it was just plain stupid. And listen, I'm not delusional. I know that the new series uses a bunch of humor elements that the original show uses, and that's fine, and I acknowledge it, but the execution is not as good, because in my opinion, what it's lacking is this level of intelligence, wit, and purposefulness that the original had. There's just so many jokes that I found in the new series where I was just kind of sitting here like, what the fuck happened? It is an extreme version of Gumball, which I hear what you're saying. That was the whole point. It was Gumball but weirder. And I'm like, well, you've missed the point, haven't you? Because what I'm trying to say is that while I understand they were trying to make it weird, they abandoned everything that made Gumball good. The intentionalness, the witty, the intelligence that Gumball had was left behind in the interest of making it weirder. And people will say, oh, well, you're old, it's not made for you, it's for the younger generation, so obviously you're not gonna freaking get it, bro. And to that I say, yes, because at the overripe old age of 20, I can't get a fucking joke. Like, no, that's not the issue. And also, I hate the fact that people are settling with giving younger generations this regurgitated surface level bullshit, because when I was a kid, I got to watch really cool cartoons like Steven Universe that was deep and beautiful and about so many cool things, and Gumball, who was hilariously clever and witty. But yeah, let's feed them regurgitated slop. Sounds great. I'm sorry, but if you think that this series was just as good as Gumball, then the bar is in hell, okay? Like, no, it just wasn't. It will never, ever be as good as Gumball was. And I'm sick of people telling me that it is, because it isn't. And that's just how I feel. Anyway, I could spend another couple hours talking about how the messaging is very blunt and very dry and very surface level. The show literally holds your hand and says, climate change is bad. Like, okay, sis, whatever. And the only reason I say that is because in the original show, they had no problem sharing their messaging. They have no problem standing in a specific place politically, for sure. But they always had a fun twist, a fun creative way to portray their messaging, their beliefs, like where they stood when it came to certain things. And it always worked into the episode. Meanwhile, this one, everything that they say that's supposed to hold weight in our real world always fell flat, because it always kind of felt like, oh yeah, and this, and never, oh, we've been dealing with this, and this is probably the reason why, and yeah. Anyway, it just came off really jarring whenever they were like, here's this message. And also, I want to be clear, I don't actually have a problem with them being blunt about their views on, like, climate change and other things, because I have always stood pretty similarly to how they view the world. I agree with most of the political points that they make in Gumball. I've always thought it was fantastic and hilarious the way they did it, and this show doesn't do that. Anyway, so, in conclusion, this show is shit. I hate it. But it had some good things, mostly bad things. It just did a lot of things that didn't hit with me. And you know what? That's okay. I'm okay with that. And if you think that I'm wrong, do let me know. I want to know. I want to know your opinions, even if I get my ass handed to me. I want to know. Because I appreciate different opinions. I acknowledge that not everyone sees the world like I do. And I think that that's important, to not stick yourself into an echo chamber. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching to this point. If you made it, stop! You're making me blush! I love you so much. We're besties. And they can't take it away from us. Anyway, yes, I really genuinely appreciate it. I'm very happy to be back and talking about things that I care about. And I care about you guys, so make sure that you're safe and happy, and I hope you have a good night or a good day. And if you're interested in any of my other content, it is readily available, because that's how the internet works. Oh, and also, if you would like to subscribe, I wouldn't blame you, I'm pretty great. Or share the video if you think I could piss somebody off. Anyway, I'm gonna go, draw or something. Thank you! Bye-bye! Also, what the fuck happened to Rob? Are we just not going to talk about how the last series ended? Oh, no, we're not? Oh, okay, cool.